This is my week 13 assignment to create a new Vite project, and that was to convert the code from JavaScript to TypeScript. So I created the new Vite project. Everything still works as it should. I redid my CSS a little bit just to make it look a little bit nicer. So I created a new Vite project. Task 2 was to copy the CRD app code into the new project. So we'll go into my main.ts here, where all my code from my JavaScript was copied over. I'll go through all the stuff again. Couple things. I imported my CSS styling so that would work with TypeScript, as well as created a base URL for the backend API for JSON server, which I have running down here, as well as the Vite client down here as well. So all the data should be manageable through that. So I still have my API configuration here, my DOM elements. My first one to grab the form element, my second one to grab the item list container element. Third one is grabbing the input field for the item names. Down here I have my API functions. This first one's a function to fetch and display all items from the backend. This line here is fetching the items from the API, then converting the response to JSON format, and then rendering the fetched items to the UI. And then catching and logging any errors that occur during the fetch process. Below that is a function to create a new item on the background. And this is going to send a post request to the API with new item data through the HTTP method post to create data. Below that is a setting the request header to accept JSON data, converting the new item to JSON format and sending it in the request body. And then below that's catching and logging any errors that occur during the creation process using console.error error creating item. Below that, we have our function to delete an item from the backend using the async function delete item with the empty or the string. This is setting a delete request to move the item by its ID. And then after deleting, it fetches the updated list of items. And again, catching and logging any errors that occur during the deletion process. Same as above, except instead of creation, deletion. Excuse me. Below here, we have our UI functions. This function is to render the list of items on the page, and then clearing the current list of items. This is looping through each item to create and display it in the list. This is creating the new list item element, and then adding classes to style the list item, and setting the inner HTML to show the item name and delete button. And then we're going to append the created list item to the item list container. And then down here we have our event listeners. This one prevents the default form submission behavior. And then this grabs the value from the input field and trimming white space. If the input is empty, preventing the submitting, then no item is going to be created. This line creates a new item object. This sends the new item to the backend. This is clearing the input field after submission, and then fetches the updated list of items from the backend. This last event listener is for the delete button click. So this is getting the target element of the click event and checking if the clicked element is the delete button. This is grabbing the ID. This is grabbing the ID from the item from the button's data ID attribute. And then if the ID exists, it sends a request to delete the item by ID. And then this down here initializes the app by fetching and displaying all the items. Here I have all my styles.css. This is everything that I included just to make everything look better. I found this one. This one was really cool. I wanted to use the glow because well, first of all, I haven't seen any of these in the assignments, so I wanted to add something new. So there's all my CSS. And then my db.json. This is the empty string. So I'm going to show that it works. So here is the local host for the db.json. And then we're going to add some random items. Oh, I don't know. Let's just add some tool supplies. Book, for example. added item, it adds it to the db.json file folder, add item, it's here. And then we can also delete the items as well. So that works. I also have my TypeScript configuration.json file, package.json, package select.json, and then I have my HTML. I forgot about my HTML, excuse me. So simple. My title is my CRD app. I have a container here to store the app, which is my CRD app, my main header. Then I created a form. This input field is where the user types in the item name. So the type is text, ID is item name, placeholders enter item, shown here. And then below that is the button to submit the form through add item. And then this is my unordered list where all the items will be displayed. It's an empty list that will be populated dynamically by the app, which was shown with db.json after I click add. And then below that, this is the script module that the module type that enables features like imports and exports. So yeah, that's my we'll go over the steps again. So create a new Vite project, copy the CRD app code into the new project, fix any TypeScript errors. Um, there's nothing, even when I click on them, there's nothing that pops up. Separated the code in multiple files, TypeScript, my index.html, my CSS file, and then I tested it. I'll test again just to be sure. Pencil, add, pen, just to show in my db.json file. Pencil, pen, marker, delete, delete, delete. And that's it.